I know you've been preparing for this presentation and demonstration for a long time, so we are looking forward to learning from you as to eBA and Sage X3 ERP system running together. So I'll stop sharing, and then you can start sharing when you're ready.
Okay.
Perfect. Forward to you. Thank you very much.
Okay, can you see my screen?
I can see your screen. Also, before you get started, a brief introduction. So Ideal Consulting is our channel partner in Malaysia and the region. We work very closely, and they are experts in eBA. They invest a lot in eBA, and we are very happy to have them in our session. So we are looking forward to further our relationship moving forward. Having said that, also I need to mention, I know some of you watching us on Zoom, some of you watching us via YouTube. So if you have any questions, please send us a chat message, and we're going to have a Q&A session at the end, and we can address your question accordingly. Perfect. Coco, floor is yours, virtual floor. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Kevin. Hi, everyone. My name is Coco. I'm from Ideal Consulting based in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I'm product specialist who handle product R&D and integration. Today, we also have our operation manager, Mr. Feng Leong Chi, joining us. Once again,
hi everyone.
Once again, welcome everyone, and we appreciate your time with us. For the next 45 minutes, our agenda is, first of all, we will start with our company introduction. After that, we will present the concept overview, followed by a live demonstration. And last but not least, we will end with a Q&A section. Before we start our presentation and system demo, allow me to briefly introduce our company. Ideal Consulting is based in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. We are Bimser partner in Asia region, which focus on eBA and BIM implementation. We are also Sage Platinum partner who specialize in Sage ERP X3 Enterprise Cloud ERP product and implementation. For these two main products that we carry, we have the integration place with both systems. In Ideal Consulting, we have offices in Kuala Lumpur and Hong Kong. We have total of 20 experienced consultants in the professional service team to serve our customer in this region, including Singapore, Indonesia, Saudi, Australia, Africa, Hong Kong, and China. All right. So today, our topic is how to manage product library and tooling with eBA and Sage ERP X3. In this section, a tooling agreement is designed to allow user to select the tool, vendor to be stated in the after filling the agreement and submit. It will follow the workflow design and inform the approver for the next action. When the tool is delivered to the customer, there is a form named receiving confirmation to be filled up. The details will be then transferred into X3 timetable and picked up by the import template. Lastly, a new miscellaneous receipt will be created in ERP system. So let's have a look on these three main modules in this demonstration. So first of all, the first module is using the eBA form designer to design the tool form, which is the agreement and also the receiving confirmation. Secondly, setting up the workflow for approval. Third, we have to do the integration to integrate the data as a miscellaneous receipt in ERP system. Let's have a look on the data flow from Sage ERP X3 to eBA and back to Sage ERP X3. So first of all, we pick up the information from Sage X3 ERP system. We get the tool, customer, supplier, and warehouse details. And then we will pass the data to eBA form. So we are creating the tooling agreement. So to allow the agreement for customer and also supplier. Okay, and then this agreement will be sent for approval. And then after the approve, we will also pick up the data and transfer the data back to Sage timetable, and we import it as a miscellaneous receipt. Okay, so this is the flow how the data from ERP system to eBA and back to the ERP system. All right, so let's have a look on the form designer in eBA. So this is the eBA form designer layout. So from left-hand side, you can see there's a toolbox which allows you to drag and drop the feature, and then you can design your form over here. Okay, so this is a tooling agreement form that we created, including some basic label, text box, and also some drop-down feature. Okay, so the second one is the flow designer from eBA system. So there's a toolbox on your left-hand side also. So we use all the control flow, we use all the standard feature, drag and drop, and then we come up with a simple flow. So this flow is telling you that when the form is created, and then it will be sent to a certain position to approve or for the next action. Okay, so after that, we also send up some notification which will notify you in the email or inside the eBA dashboard. Okay, so after the approval or rejection, and then that's the end for this flow. Okay, so we will show this later on the live demonstration. Okay, so for this form and workflow design, we can also use the CSharp Coding as an integration. So in this example, we use the CSharp Coding to read the data from ERP system and then to populate it from the eBA form design. This is the dashboard when we log into eBA system. Okay, so as you can see from the top right-hand side, there is some standard button or profile basic thing. The left-hand side, all the menu, and the middle part, the dashboard like messengers, it will show on here. Okay, so we have created a for this demo, and then followed by 2 form we designed and 2 archive we created. So we will show that later on in the demonstration also. Okay, so this is the tooling agreement, the actual look when we use that in the eBA web platform. Okay, so we include the attachment feature, which you can attach logo or even your file into the agreement. Okay, and then after the agreement is filling in, then we can proceed for the form action. So you can either send to your approver, or you can cancel it, or you can save it for temporarily, and then you can send it later on. So these are the standard feature for a form usage. So after that, when we created the form and we send to approver, and then the approver will receive some notification. So it will receive the notification, and then it show on your top right-hand corner. So it's telling you that you have something is on your queue for you to check. So this is the web notification. So after the approver log in their account, and then they will see there's something waiting for their action. For example, there's a tooling agreement waiting for them to approve. So if they click the approve button, they will approve the agreement, or they can reject the agreement. Okay, so after that, we can check the whole process, which is already completed. So the green color line is showing you that the actual flow. So it's from creating the document and sent to the position for approval, and then now the person in charge is already approved, and then there's a notification sent out, but using the email. And last, this is the end of the workflow. Okay, so this is a simple workflow for you to review your process and to check where's your current status of your process. Okay, so this is the sample customized email that telling you that who approved your agreement or who rejected your agreement. So we can always customize the content inside and then to create our own email template. All right, so this is the second form, which is a receiving confirmation. So I will show that in the demo later. So now after filling in the receiving confirmation and the agreement, so how the data flow from eBA system to the ERP system. So we use the ETL method, extract, transform, and loading method is from our SSIS tool. So we transfer the data from eBA DB to X3 DB. Okay, so we use an automated schedule that load the eBA data to X3 timetable. Okay, so after that, when the data is bring into X3 timetable, and then we use the import template to import it as a miscellaneous receipt. So this is the standard feature in ERP system. So when we come into the import, so after that, we can also check the log file from our X3 system. So whether the import is success or whether the import is something wrong there. So we need to check the log file. Okay, so there's a log file for us to check. So last but not least, our aim, our objective is we want to create a miscellaneous receipt from the ERP system. So this is the actual miscellaneous receipt created from the eBA system, the data transferred from eBA to X3 temp table. Okay, so last but not least, this is the archive feature in eBA system. So we use the archive function to do tool listing and also agreement listing. So all the agreement listed or created from eBA form, we can now list them or export them as a Excel report. Okay, so this I will show that later on. All right, so now let's have a live demonstration for this whole concept. Okay, so I will switch to our server. All right, so I'm logging in the eBA system from our demo server. So when you log in, so you can see the top right-hand corner is our standard setup and standard profile setting. And the left one is our menu. So the middle one is our dashboard. Okay, so for this demonstration, we have already created a customized project. So for this proof of concept POC that we have developed, it is for those industry where their factory engaged with molding vendor to customize a mold to manufacture the item for their client. This application has two main features, so which is a tooling agreement and the receiving confirmation. Okay. So the tooling agreement is the agreement between the tooling vendor and capture the details of the mold and for which customer. Whereas the receiving confirmation is to capture the mold, receive and their quality condition, then record it and update back to Sage ERP X3 system inventory module as a miscellaneous receipt. So now let me show you the whole process, how it works. Okay, so let's go to the first form we created, which is a tooling agreement. So when you click the tooling agreement, so expand it for a better view. Okay, so you can see now you can put in all your details information here. Okay, so first of all, we will start with the reference number. The agreement ID is automatic generated. So we will start with the reference number. So I will put reference today date is maybe 0317. Okay, so I will pick up the tool or the product from ERP system. So this is reading from ERP system. Once we select a product, and then the details will be automatically populated. Okay, so vendor, and we put in our vendor name. So I will put vendor. Okay, and then let's select a customer. Customer, PIC customer. Okay, so after that, we can add some attachment to this agreement. So for now, I will just select logo, our company logo as one of the attachment. And then I will also add on one more attachment. So to show that it supports multiple attachment. So add one more attachment. This is just a notepad. Okay, so we have added two attachments, and now let's put the date for our agreement. So I just put today date and maybe end with 1 month later. Okay, so let's double check our form, filling in the two details, vendor details and also the customer detail, and put in the agreement date. Okay, so now let's send this form to our approver. Okay, so after you click send button, then you can immediately check the flow history here. So I have created the flow and created the form, and then now it's waiting for Wins to approve or to reject the agreement. Okay, so it's already sending to Wins account. Okay, so let me log in to Wins account. Okay, so this is a Wins account. So from here, we can see on the top right-hand corner, there's a notification here. It's telling you that someone sent you a notification. So let's check on the date. So this is today date, which is the agreement I just created. So once you click that, so it will open up the agreement for your review. Okay, so maximize the screen. Okay, so this is the agreement I created just now. Agreement ID is now populated, 42. Okay, so this is the PIC that I put in just now, and the attachment and the dates. Okay, so everything okay. I will proceed with approving the agreement. Okay, so once you click the approve, and then it will telling you that the workflow is finished. So from starting, send, approve, and now it's finished. Okay, so now just imagine that this tool is now sending to the customer. Okay, so customer received the tool, and then now we need to fill in the receiving confirmation form, which is the second form that we designed. Okay, so once you click this receiving confirmation, okay, so as you can see, let's put a reference number, reference confirmation 0317. Okay, so receiving date, so it's today date, and then person in charge, Mr. PIC, receive 0317. Okay, so receiving good condition, or you can put in some other remark here. Okay, attachment, you can also add on your photo. So now the agreement ID, we will select the one we created just now, agreement 42. Okay, once you select the agreement 42, all the tool details, vendor details, and customer details will be automatically populated into the fields. Okay, so when receiving a tool in the ERP system, we must put in the site and the location. Okay, so there's a multiple site here and multiple location here. So you can always put in the drop-down boxes, and then you can put in your location here. Okay, so after I put in the site and location, so now everything is filled in, and I can save this receiving confirmation form. Okay, so just click save button, and then the form now is saved in eBA DB. Okay, so let's have a look on the eBA DB for a quick check. Okay, if I run this query, so I will see this is the record I created using the account just now. Okay, 0317. So reference number 0317. Okay, so now we need to transfer this data into X3 timetable. Okay, so there's an automated schedule, but for now I will just manually start this job so that it populate the eBA data from eBA to X3 timetable. Okay, so let's wait for it to run for a few seconds. Okay, so it's completed. Okay, now let's have a look on our X3 timetable. Okay, so if you can see here, there's a new record, remark flag new is transferred into this table. Okay, so we will now move to our ERP system to run the import template and then bring in this information as a miscellaneous receipt. Okay, so let's go to the X3 system. Okay, let me just log in to our dashboard. Okay, so this is our demo folder. I will just switch to miscellaneous receipt module. Okay, so from here, we already customized a button for us to trigger the import template manually. So in another way, we can always schedule this import template as a schedule, like every 1 hour, every 5 minutes, or even every 1 minute. So for now, I will just click this for our demo purpose. So once you click that, let's go back to the DB and we check it should updated from new to updated remark. Okay, so let's run this process. Okay, so now it's already updated, which means we should see a new miscellaneous receipt is created in our X3 system. Okay, So let's go to miscellaneous receipt function. Okay, we are selecting all, and then let's filter with eBA code. Okay, which means this miscellaneous receipt is from eBA system. Okay, so we can see there's a lot of miscellaneous receipt, and then this is the one today date. So this is the one that we created using eBA form, and then now it's bringing in as a new miscellaneous receipt. All right, so all right, let's move back to our PowerPoint slide. So in summary, for this demonstration, firstly, there's a seamless integration between eBA and Sage ERP X3. Okay. Second, it is a high potential to expand the development. The demo today is just a basic feature and function. We can do much more advanced and much more better from here. So thirdly, we can easily do the integration using the eBA platform. For the most common one will be the CSharp Coding and also the web services. All right, so that's all for our presentation. Thank you so much, and we will have a Q&A session now. So I will pass back to Kevin.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation and demonstration. Very, very informative. You'll learn a lot. And also, yes, there are, of course, questions because that's the exact topic that we are looking at. And let me also take over the screen. I'll just put the Q&A session on the screen so we can discuss. And it is also good that you also share your email address. So if there is any questions, any requests, they can connect you directly, as well as connecting out so that you can address their questions. You can always contact Coco and Ideal team directly if needed. If you'd like to continue this conversation, if you have any questions, if you contact us, you'll be also able to Coco and Pong and team Ideal Consulting. As you see during this demonstration and presentation, eBA is very flexible, as Coco presented and demonstrated nicely from Ideal team, Ideal Consultant team. You can configure eBA in different ways, and you can communicate with Sage X3 ERP system based on your company's operations and priorities. So one of the questions that we have is about industries, verticals. You share some list of industries in the eBA demonstration, eBA presentation. What type of industries Sage X3 can be used with eBA? So that is the question. Coco, are you able to address these or you're gonna get it addressed? In terms of industries, what type of industries can we utilize this integration with eBA and X3?
Hi everyone. This is Fong. Yeah. So basically for the industry, it basically is open for multiple, especially for F&B, plastic, where Sage X3 that we implemented those industry quite proficiently. So basically, as far as the workflow and stock management concerned, we are able to go for end-to-end for the integration. Yeah, so it does not so much of limit to what industry, but it's more on the functional side, how you can complement each other from the ERP perspective to the front end, yeah, from end to end. Yep.
Typically, how long does it take to put together that integration, you will say?
Yeah, we depends on the complexity of the solution. So probably we're talking about 1 month basis, building from the application from eBA until the integration to the X3. So and also we need to look at the how many integration point we are talking about. But in very common that we have a standard tools where we can pull the common data from Sage X3, pull into eBA, and from eBA we can display, we can populate those information, and whichever the transactions that we created in eBA, then we can actually forward back to Sage X3. So the only point we are talking about is that how many integration points. So if you're talking about the standard integration, probably you're talking about maybe 2 weeks. Yep.
I see. Okay, yeah, makes sense. Thank you very much, Fong. Let me see if there is any other questions. I received some questions from Zoom. I received some questions over YouTube, so we can address those questions. One of the questions is about mobile application. So those forms that you show during the demonstration, are they also applicable in mobile application of eBA?
Yeah, so I think eBA, they come with the mobile application, right? So it should be able to cater for that. Yeah, yeah. The answer is yes.
Yes. Okay, great. Yeah, just an add-on. Just like Fong mentioned, there is a native mobile application of eBA, and this application runs on mobile applications. It runs on Android mobile devices as well as iOS mobile devices, as in iPhones. So we have different options as to how you can utilize. You can use a smartphone, you can use a tablet, so that is perfectly fine. So all the forms that actually Coco demonstrated and presented, they are also actionable and usable on the mobile application of eBA. This is just to add on to answers. Let me see if there is another question we should be addressing. Yeah, we talked about this in terms of integration. So how configurable is the integration model? You will say, is it, would you say we can integrate with any part of Sage X3? Depends on what data will you need to push and pull.
Exactly. So basically, to answer this question, it is much depends on what application that you need to develop in eBA, and what is the functionality you can pull. So for example, very common in our country and also the industry we dealing with is especially plastic manufacturing. They do have this molding, and in this molding they require to have a certain agreement. Yeah, so we can not only that to keep the agreement inside eBA, but we also can define the tools, the product code, the unit measurement, the important information that come from ERP. We pull into eBA, and then from eBA we can actually will have some documentation or form that allow the user to do the receiving. Then we push back the quantity, update back to the stock. So similarly, there is so much of thing you can do between the eBA and X3 perspective.
Thank you, Fong.
Kevin.
Much appreciated. Thanks for that. Let me see if there is another question or list at the same time and try to see what we can address together. Yeah, we address those questions. We talk about the industries. One of the questions about eBA in general, if there is any limit as to how many flows that we can have on eBA when we are designing it. So, in general, what would you say in terms of your form development application on eBA platform, eBA Design Studio? Actually, that's a drag and drop design studio. It's a low-code environment. So, how is your experience as to working on eBA Design Studio, you will say?
Yeah, based on our team using the platform from eBA, we can develop the form quite fast, and also according to customer requirement, whether the field is a drop down, or whether we have certain control, or whether we have a calculation formulation to generate that, or even the field itself, you can auto generate the agreement number or sequential number. So with the tools and platform at the back that allow you to build in the form flexibly, and as well as the integrate together with the workflow. You can send to multiple level of approval, and with the notification back into the respective approval. This have make their job quite extensively effective. Yeah. So in conclusion is using the platform tools, you can basically build the application yourself quite efficiently and fast.
Great. Thank you very much, Phong. Yes. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying something. All right. I think we are good. Okay. Let me see if there is another point that we need to make in terms of questions that we received. Is there a single sign-on option available? Is there Microsoft Active Directory integration available? So the answer is yes. On eBA side, you can integrate on the Microsoft Active Directory. The single sign-on option is also available. I'll just if you need to use eBA in that setting as well. Another question is, I think the question is about integration. So how frequently eBA talks to Sage X3? What is the frequency of integration?
Coco, I would like you to share this experience.
Yeah.
The
All right.
integration part, how frequent?
For ERP to X3, so we can schedule the automation right anytime we want. So for example, 1 hour, every 5 minutes, or even every 1 minute. So we can always we can also use no way, so that when there's flexibility or there's a necessary to trigger the automation or loading now or anytime, so we can use the manual way. So I would suggest both automation and also the manual schedule to be prepared, so that we can use that for any situation or for any purpose. So yeah, for the schedule is back to our timing. So we can set like every 1 hour, every 5 minutes, or every half a day, every day, or any time that we want. So I think we can set the schedule. Yeah.
Perfect. So we have a lot of flexibility in that sense as to frequency.
Yes.
Of integration. Cool. Yeah, to pull and push data. That's a great advantage in that sense. So I think one more question is about the application. So Coco, today we demonstrated from the point of tooling management. So that is basically proof of concept today, which we demonstrated very smoothly. Yeah, it was actually very easy to understand presentation and demonstration. So the question is about what other applications can you develop on eBA that may be talking to Sage X3?
Okay.
So go ahead if you have anything in your mind in general.
Do you mean what other application on top of the presentation today, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So just to recap the eBA feature, so eBA is a flexible tool to allow our organization to create any workflow that related to our company, related to our environment. So other than the demonstration today, which is the managing the product library, so and then we can also create some application like vendor portal. So for example, we allow our vendor to log in, and then they can attach their business form or ask for approval. Okay, so vendor portal is one of it. So secondly, we can also, just like Kevin mentioned in the opening, so we can use the optical character recognition, the OCR module, to scan document and then to import the document into X3 system. So this is also a very advanced and also a very important feature. So now everyone is looking for automation. So other than that, we can also do claim application. So like for our claiming, for our employee to do the claim, submit claim, or for our manager to approve the claim. So we can also use eBA to do that. Okay. So other than that, we can also do the product life cycle. So which product life cycle application. So allow us to manage the product life cycle using the eBA platform. So yeah, I think these are the application that we can develop extension from the demonstration today. So hopefully give everyone an idea to make it or to customize the eBA, to use the eBA for our better company operation. Yeah.
Thank you, Coco. Yeah, great examples. Yes, there are many different applications that we can build. A product lifecycle is one of them. OCR-based automation related applications are others that we can always address and think about in general. So that sounds like a great idea as well. So, of course, what just Coco mentioned in general is just to share some ideas. So if you have any specific requirements, you can always talk about it, and we can address it with the team, ideal consultants. So we are always open for this discussion. And in terms of applications that you can build on eBA, actually, there is no limit. Sky is the limit, as they say, right? So it depends on what you need and what you like to be digitizing.
How you call me at your side?
I beg your pardon?
No, I think, yeah, nothing from
okay,
the side.
So all right, no problem. I just someone was saying something. Okay, no problem. So yeah, so it depends on what you like to be doing. So it depends on your industry as well. Just like Phong mentioned earlier, there may be a chemical industry, there may be a manufacturing setup, there may be a service industry, by the way. So you never know, what industries eBA in terms of automation. From our point of view, from Bimser International's point of view, we have seen a lot of different applications running on eBA, from banking, finance to manufacturing, chemical, pharmacy, healthcare. So there are many different applications being automated, digitized, and managed on daily basis. If you remember my earlier presentation, we are talking about more than 50,000 business processes running on eBA on daily basis. That's a lot of business processes, thousands of. It is because there is no such thing as standard business process. Every single company has a different hierarchy, first of all. Right? Some of them, they have managers. Sometimes they have directors. They have different layers. Also, this is just the management level or hierarchy. How about the business process management? So as I mentioned earlier, also based on ISO standards as well, businesses operate with certain processes. Every single department or department-based test is actually a process. And how you're going to run your process is really up to you. There is no such standard as this how you're going to do it. So there are always differences, and there is always a nuance in a way that you see differences in practice in different companies, even though they're in the same industry. That is pretty interesting. That is why actually what Coco demonstrated today, and for Phong to address some of the questions, very important. eBA is configurable, and we have the drag and drop technology when you are developing these. So those forms, those flows that we actually operate, they are actually designed with drag and drop. There is almost no coding needed. Coding only may be needed for integration purposes, which is an advanced practice of eBA. Other than that, on the eBA Studio part, where you design your forms as well as your flows, there is a simple drag and drop. Anyone can do it with a minimum level of proficiency, so it is not a problem. The main thing is, just like Coco and Phong mentioned earlier, it depends on how you are running your business. So just take it down for us. You just need to help us understand your business flow, steps that you take. And an example of your business form workflow will, the form that workflow will be running on, an example of a form will be great. So we can also replicate it. If you like to change it, we can also change it easily in our digital design studio. So that is not a problem at all. Okay, great. So it looks like we addressed all the questions. We are on the right track. And it was actually a pretty informative session. As you see, ideal consultant team is is ready to digitize and automate any business process on eBA. And they actually prepared a lot for this meeting, which I truly appreciate it. On behalf of Bimser and my colleagues and my team members, thank you very much. Coco, Fong, before we end your session, is there anything else that you'd like to share with our audience?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank Kevin and Bimser for inviting us for this event. It's a very important event for everyone to share knowledge, knowledge sharing, and what capability we can transform the digitalizations into the real reality, work from remote. So basically, as far as the technology and the system-wise, there's a lot of things, as Kevin mentioned, we can do more together, especially on top of the ERP system that we mainly focus on. So you bring a lot of possibility to our team that we're able to offer quite a number of solutions to all the markets. So for anyone out there, if you would like to know more about what we can do more for you, your organization, how we can address your pain point, so please contact us on the Ideal Consulting. Yep, thank you very much.